When it comes to marketing communications, sometimes the most important tools are the tools that are probably the most boring and the least exciting for us as marketing communications people. What I'm talking about is database marketing. Database marketing is important because a database is going to allow us to do a lot of things that are really important, or two things that are really important for marketing communications and marketing in general. The first is identifying customers, and the second is building relationships. So how do we build a database, and how do we utilize a database to help us perform these two tasks of identifying and building relationships with customers? So the 5 tasks that it will take for us to build a really good database, we need to first start with a data warehouse, which is simply creating the database itself. So it's collecting the information that's going to go into the database, because the database is made up of consumers and various types of information that are related to those consumers. We typically see 2 different types of information, or 2 different types of data that we would input into our warehouse. The first one is operational, and that's really all about sales. It's kind of your dollars and your cents, and this is what you would use for accounting purposes or financial purposes. On the other hand, we have more marketing related data, which is really kind of what I would focus on here in terms of integrated marketing communications. And that marketing data would be things like the demographics, the psychographics, maybe the geographics, and different attributes that would help us to understand consumer behavior, or even to predict consumer behavior. The second step would be to code the data that we are putting into our warehouse, and also to analyze it. And this is really just a step in terms of data input, more or less. Then we would move on to data mining, which is probably one of the more important aspects of database marketing. Data mining is the actual activity of kind of sifting through all of the data that you've collected and coded into your warehouse, and trying to look for patterns and looking for bits of information so that you can really understand what's going on with consumers. Now, data mining, this is the moment where the term data, which is raw, it doesn't really have any meaning, is turned into the term information. So data mining is the step at which we give information to the data, and we start to really begin to get an understanding of who it is that we're talking with in terms of customers, and allowing us to maybe predict what their next steps would be. And then we really have the last 2 steps, which are probably, we can kind of fold them together: data-driven marketing communications and data-driven marketing programs. And this is taking the information that you know and then actually applying it to create some sort of strategy. So, first you build your data warehouse, then you fill it with information, or I should say data. So you fill it with data, which is coding and analysis. Then you would mine that data to try to generate information, which is a knowledge and understanding of what's going on with your customers. And from that knowledge and understanding, you would generate and create your strategies, whether they be marketing communications specific, like advertising, public relations, sales promotions, and professional selling, or whether they just be general marketing programs, anything related to your 4 Ps. So there's database marketing. It's a really important aspect of marketing communications at this point in time. You're going to see that there's a lot of jobs in database marketing, and while it might not be as exciting as producing award-winning Super Bowl commercials, this is really an area in which companies can gain a competitive advantage. Companies can make a lot of profits, and you'll see that there's quite a decent job market for those who really understand and can leverage database marketing.